All right, what's good? What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Pioneer Podcast. I am your host, Kai Davis, and today I am here with the part of the Pioneer Cast. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourselves?
My name's Kenna. I'm a reporter on the Pioneer, and I also have a music blog.
My name is Michael, and I'm also a reporter for the Pioneer, and that's about it at the moment. That's all I do.
Yeah, all right. Thank y'all for coming on the show once again. I just want to start this off, and I want to start this off with, because as y'all can see, we got some little music collections going on at the moment. I just kind of want to start this off with showing off what we brought. So I want to show off what I got. The way that I'm not going to lie, I didn't really know how I was going to do this at first. But I just decided I was going to bring my favorite, one of my prized, and then my most recent. Which, my favorite, Wolf, 110%, got me through high school, all that. Most prized is my Giveon signed Giveon album, When It's All Said and Done, Take Time, because, very solid track, very solid album. And then my most recent, Monica, The Boy's Mine. I was about to say, I don't know if y'all know anything about that. You might know something,
Yeah, a little
something about it.
I'm
But I gotta say, this is a classic right here. 90s classic for sure. All right, wait, so now I want to know, what did you bring?
I brought my Bikini Kill vinyl. My girlfriend introduced me to Bikini Kill, and I've just been obsessed ever since. I brought my Poppy Flux album. Poppy got me through a lot when I lived in Colorado and just let me process a lot of emotions that I had. And then I brought 100 gecs, their newest album, 10,000 gecs, simply because they scratch my brain. So
They look like some interesting hair.
they really are.
Mm-hmm.
They really are.
Yeah. What about you, Michael?
First one that I brought was the Jimi Hendrix Experience, because my dad was the person who really got me into music, and he's an old school boomer, so this type of stuff he grew up listening to, and so that was sort of my intro into music when I was 5-6 years old, and then my brother introduced me to some hip hop, and this is the official Drake mixtape. It's a bootleg CD. It's Thank Me Later, I think was the name of the... So Far Gone.
So Far
Gone, but it's a very bootleg version of it. But I have so many memories with that because my brother gave it to me, and it's so dirty. It's been through a lot. But it still works, though, even though it has tons of scratches. And then this one is a burnt CD that I got because, with the internet, you can download a lot of free music and royalty free and all that. So you can just burn onto a CD and then bump it in your car. If people still listen to CDs, I don't know. But I do, so that's what I grew up with. And this one had a lo-fi song on it, because lo-fi was not around when I grew up. So when I did find it, when I was probably about 20, 21, it was like a whole new world. It was awesome.
Whole new world, like the mermaid.
Yeah, exactly.
I was about to say, I'm not gonna lie, I think it's really cool that you brought a burnt CD, just because I've tried burning a CD recently, and for some reason it does not work for me, but man, I wish I had the magic to be able to burn a CD, honestly, because that's probably one of my favorite formats of music, honestly. Aside from streaming, of course.
Yeah, other than the jump to the internet, I'd say it's one of the biggest jumps in music technology, I guess you could say. Because beforehand they had cassettes and 8-track tapes, and then CDs showed up, and there was way more you could do with that. But then the internet happened and changed everything.
Oh yeah. Well, let me ask y'all, or let me start with you, Kenna. Do you feel like the music that you brought today kind of resembles the type of music that you listen to?
Oh, 100%. I kind of brought something from around everything I listen to. 100 gecs is hyperpop, Bikini Kill is Riot Girl, which is a subsect of punk, and then Poppy, she's kind of hard to explain. I'd say like mix of metal, mix of rock. So that's kind of like what I will listen to. I do listen to some softer indie things. I just didn't bring them, so.
Oh, I got one. Do you say Riot Girl?
Riot Girl.
What's that? Is that
It's like it's like a genre of punk.
Oh,
so.
Jeez. Man, I'm learning so many new things.
Yeah. Yeah, they're awesome. They really influenced feminism and like, yeah, they're really important for the music industry, all those bands, so.
Okay.
It seems like there's a lot more feminism than there was back in the 2000s.
Riot Girl is like late 80s, 90s, and now it's having a resurgence in the late 2000s.
I'm gonna look into that.
They're awesome.
The thing that I noticed is like, throughout the years, I noticed that there would be like really big like artists that are like icons whenever it comes to feminism and such.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like, but I've noticed that like some of them nowadays, like I feel like float around in the rap genre low key.
Yeah, they do 100%.
But I feel like the thing is, that's the thing that makes it really cool though, because I feel like they surf throughout all the genres. It just really depends on what you listen to.
Yeah. Yeah, Megan Thee Stallion, and not gonna talk about Doja Cat. She's a lot.
I was about to say, we'll save that for later.
Save that for later, another discussion.
That's definitely another discussion for later.
Megan Thee Stallion is the one I think of the most when I think of like feminism and rap. So.
Mm-hmm. She's been through a lot and she's still on top.
And she like went to college
That's
and
right.
like graduated with a degree in public health. Like she's awesome.
Mm.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
I did see something about that on Twitter. Megan Thee Stallion, come on the show, please. We'd love to have you here.
So is she like using that degree for something?
I think it's just like a backup.
Oh, in
Yeah.
case the music doesn't work.
Something that
That's pretty cool though.
Something that she'd be passionate about for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Alright, so with all this in mind, like all the different artists out there, like first off, there's people that are already like well known and like popping on top of the charts and all that throughout different genres and all that. And then there's also people out there that want to be just like them. So I kind of want to take this into like a little segue of our first leg. How do you curate, experience, listen, collect, or participate your music? Like, how do you do music?
So I love Spotify a lot, and I get a lot of like, I find a lot of smaller artists through TikTok actually, and through going to local shows and like seeing openers or like just going to a random show and getting to know someone and stuff like that. There's also like SoundCloud is super important, I think, for smaller artists. When I think of SoundCloud, I think of like smaller rap artists or like acoustic artists. And then Bandcamp is like a great way to distribute your music as well. But I think Spotify honestly is like the best platform. And when you're like trying to like listen to music, and it's fairly accessible because they have a free version and then a paid version. The paid version is $10 a month, so that's not fairly accessible to people. But the free version, you could still like do a lot with it and still discover small artists and stuff like that. Basically, CDs like you guys have and cassettes are really big, and like the local artist community as well. And I think that's really powerful having those types of media come back, especially it's easier for people who don't have a record label to like make their own CD or make their own cassette. Those are very accessible for artists to like use.
And with the idea of like kind of like vintage making its way back around, it's kind of something that people still love to cherish in a way too.
Oh, 100%. And it makes local artists feel more exclusive because they're like, oh, look at my cassette. Like, not everyone has a cassette tape player, and not everyone has a CD player anymore. Like, it
Boomer.
makes. But I think it's really cool how smaller artists are using older forms of media to get their music out there, 100%, and not just through Spotify, but like I said, cassettes, CDs, sometimes vinyls. Vinyls are very expensive to record on those, so.
I could imagine. I mean, I think after COVID was whenever like the value of vinyls, like to make vinyls, went up.
Yeah, it's very expensive to make them, and they're very expensive to buy. I have around like.
Exactly why I like CDs.
Yes, those CDs and cassettes very accessible. Vinyls not so much, especially because you have to have like a very expensive setup for vinyls. I've been collecting since my sophomore year of high school, and I just try to avoid the record store as much as possible because I will buy something and I will drop like $100 on a vinyl, 100%. So, yeah.
Okay. Like with that being said, like for me personally, I feel like I like Spotify over all of the streaming platforms, just because personally, I don't know, I feel like Spotify is just a little bit easier for me to navigate.
Yeah.
And then like I like going on SoundCloud and YouTube mostly, just so I can like rap over instrumentals and stuff. Cause I don't know, I got like a slight little passion for it. Something that I'm trying to like grow.
That's awesome.
And were you so bad?
I know.
And yeah, I listen to SoundCloud mostly, and I've been listening to that platform anyway for probably 6-7 years. So sometimes I'll go back through the thousands of songs I've liked and reposted, and it's like, you know, sometimes I'll look at it from when I was 20 to 27 now, and it's like I'll watch a whole journey, man, going on, and it's so cool sometimes. Because it's such a wide variety, because, you know, it started off with, the first song I liked, I think, was by Arm & Hammer, some like EDM thing. And then it ended at the point I'm at now with Schoolboy Q with Man of the Year. So, and everything in between, there's a lot of lo-fi in it. And, now, something about the internet, what it can do is, you know, you can go back years and years and just, you know, it's like looking at your own little story in a music format, you know? And other people may not quite get it, but, you know, I get the story because, you know, it was mine. And that's why I listen to SoundCloud a lot. And I also like just going through the whole wide variety of things you can have, because it's so different from when I first grew up. It's very nice, I would say. And I also make some playlists sometimes, which gotten a few likes, but none that's ever blown up.
I feel you.
I mostly use them to show my pictures that I take.
Yeah. I like making, I'm not gonna lie, on Spotify, I like making playlists, and like, I feel like I like making playlists based on how I'm feeling. And I feel a lot of feelings, so that's why I have a lot of Spotify playlists.
I feel a lot of feelings too. Tourist life, honestly.
Honestly, though.
Yes.
Man. Alright, with that being said, we're gonna take a short little intermission. We'll be right back after these breaks. Alright, welcome back everyone. Alright, I got some special guests with us. Why don't y'all go ahead and introduce yourselves?
Hi, I'm Daisy. I'm a student reporter for The Pioneer. That's about all I do. I'm an English major, so I just write all the time.
I am Charlie. I don't know what it is that I do. I exist, and I'm alive.
That's a vibe.
He's here with us.
Yeah, thank y'all for joining us. I want to get y'all caught up with where we're at. Why don't y'all show off y'all's little collections or little music
Playlist.
yeah. There's another word in my head. I get short of words sometimes, but there's another word in my head. But show off the music stuff that y'all brought. How about that?
Okay, I'll go first. So, I brought my Spotify playlist, and this one is just like a heart emoji one, but it basically just has like everything that I have ever loved in it, and a lot of my music that I like to listen to is just like, it's very emotional because like I myself am a very emotional person, and like I feel everything pretty deeply, and a lot of these songs are just like attached to like various memories or various points in my life, and I kind of just like hold it all very like near and dear to my heart, so that's why it has like the heart emoji as the name.
Who are some common artists in your playlist?
So I listen to The Garden a lot.
I love The Garden.
Yeah, I listen to them, and then like I also listen to a lot of Bad Sons, Lana Del Rey, and then also I listen to a lot of Grey 5'9" as well. Suicide Boys, Ramirez, Puya, just stuff like that. There's just a lot in this playlist. It's very eclectic.
Okay, that's a vibe. That's a vibe. What about you, Charlie?
I have an interesting collection here. I have a cassette tape from the wonderful Midwest emo band Michael Sarah Palin.
Fire.
And then here in Oklahoma City, there used to be a place called Military Manor where a lot of house shows would happen. And this is a set list that I grabbed the first time I went to a house show. It just has a lot of fun, emotional memories tied to it.
Yeah, those house shows are the best.
I'll show it to the camera. You can appreciate the art. And then this last is just a band t-shirt I have that I just really enjoy the color scheme of.
That's actually really clean.
That's a sick
It
shirt.
says "Sucks to be you" on it, and it looks like they're doing. Yeah, it's got a little tech deck on it also. So it's doing
They're doing a
Tech
trick
deck.
on a tech deck?
a finger tech deck
Okay.
trick.
Okay, I like that shirt even more now. Alright, wait, so what kind of music do you listen to?
I listen to a lot of. I listen to everything, but probably mostly it's like Midwest emo / alternative emo and like folk punk, which is a very niche genre.
I love folk
That
punk.
sounds very.
Okay.
Sounds like something my sister would listen to.
Okay. I can vibe
Have you
with
heard of
that.
Apes of the State?
Yes.
Okay, I saw them at a house show recently.
I'm jealous.
They were really good.
You see how music just makes everyone like want to connect? Like, I swear, like I feel like with this like podcast, we could just go on for like a whole honestly, I feel like we can go on all day.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like even though like not any of us listen to the same things, it's like we all still resonate with like what music like does for us.
Mm-hmm.
That I don't know. That kind of draws up the question for me. What was the first time that music like truly resonated with you?
Oh, that's a good question. But the first thing that popped into my mind was whenever I was probably about 10 or younger. I got my first flip phone. It was this little Motorola. It was a blue one. And my dad downloaded like a bunch of music that I liked, and I could just like sit in the back of his car and just put my earbuds in and just listen to it while we were going on a road trip or whatever. But there was a lot of Katy Perry and Lady Gaga in there, which I don't really listen to them very much anymore, but I should because it's very nostalgic for me. But it's just little memories like that are cool to think back on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh no, you can.
One of the oldest memories I had with music was with that like Drake mixtape or So Far Gone. When I was listening to it, like no one else in my grade knew about it. And there was one day I was playing it real loud on my speakers at home, and a friend called me. And he's like, "Yo, who are you listening to?" I'm like, "Oh, it's this new guy called Drake." And he's like, "Man, that music sucks. This dude ain't gonna go nowhere. He ain't gonna blow up." All these years later, Wendell, I was right. So that was one of my first memories, man, because blasting that before anyone knew. I felt so cool, I was 13, so.
I'll say he's on top of the game right now too.
He was so wrong. I was right.
Mm-hmm. Have you listened to For All the Dogs?
Say what?
Drake recently released a new album.
No, I haven't listened to anything new.
I'd say
No, I need to.
listen to it. He tunes into the old Drake.
No, I bet it's good. I believe it.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was also another memory I had. It was out front of the elementary school I went to, and it was just me and my brother in this old van used to drive in. It was Mom's. And some Little Wayne song came on, and Josh started playing. Josh, my brother. He started playing it really loud, and I remember the bass being kind of okay for a van, but it was the first time I ever like really heard. I can remember really like feeling that bass in your bones. You know what I'm saying? And it was Lil Wayne too, so it was going off, man. I'm trying to remember what song it was. Hold on. Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue. It was really a Millie. It was a Millie, and that was bumping in the van, and I remember thinking it was really cool. So I guess that's two memories.
One of his greatest songs. One of his greatest songs for sure.
Oh yeah.
In all honesty, the first time music resonated with me, I was in the backseat of my mom's car. I remember, man, both of them, honestly, because she had a Pontiac. Honestly, I think in general, I was just in the back of a car. Because I was saying, in the back of my dad's car, I remember listening to a bunch of, like, rock music and, like, alternative music and all that. And with my mom's car, I just remember listening to a bunch of, like, R&B. Like, honestly, I think my mom owned this CD. I really think my mom owned this CD. But, yeah, I don't know. Music just, like, I don't know. It's like after, like, just hearing, like, all these, like, 90s R&B songs and, like, these classics, just, like, just chilling, I was just, like, it struck something in me, low-key.
I think for me it was the first time I listened to My Chemical Romance as a little, like, really depressed middle schooler. I found that, the one with the Black Parade, I think it's just the Black Parade album, actually.
Welcome to the Black Parade.
Yeah, it was that one. I don't even remember what song it was, but I was just sitting there listening to it, and I was like, yes, music is good.
Valid.
What about you, Kenna?
I would say the first time music really resonated with me was, it's low-key embarrassing, but it was my freshman year of high school, and I found Neutral Milk Hotel's album Aeroplane Over the Sea, and I just sat on the bus and, like, cried the whole bus ride, like, going home from school. So, yeah, I would say that was when it, like, truly hit the feeling button in my body.
Mm-hmm. You know the best part about like listening to music and like listening to music whenever you're listening to music whenever you're young, then hearing it again whenever you're older.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, like, back on that, like, resonation, like, I don't even know if that's a word, that resonation stage, like, whenever I was with my dad, I would listen to Dance Gavin Dance with him, and then, like, coolest thing is, like, they recently came here to Oklahoma City at the Criterion, and going to that concert with them, it just felt like a full circle moment, because, I don't know, it's like, he's the one that put me on, and then I'm out here, like, taking him to a concert for his birthday, and it's like, wow, I really grew up.
Yeah.
But with that in mind, I don't know, I feel like, music is just such a... I feel like there's so many aspects, like, within music that just get you, like, you just find comfort with it. You kind of, like, create memories with it, association with it. There's just so much music can do for, like, just one person, an individual. What was the first concert that y'all had been to?
Yeah, my first concert was the Black Eyed Peas and U2. I was 6 years old, and I got to skip school the next day because I stayed up too late. So, still a fan of the Black Eyed Peas to this day. No comment on U2. But Black Eyed Peas, I only listen to their older stuff. The End and Monkey Business are, like, my favorite albums by them. So, yeah.
Okay.
Man, my first concert was actually the Philharmonic when I was a very, very little kid, because my dad worked at the Civic Center, so that's how we were able to get in there. And no, I would say that was really one of my most favorite concert because, you know, it really shows just how long music has, how should I word this? How long music's really been creating a sense of community for humans, because that music is hundreds of years old. And, you know, it really gave me a huge respect for just music in general, you know, the respect, how it brought that gigantic crowd of people together. Even though no one was singing or anything, it was a philharmonic, so a little boring sometimes, but, you know, the appreciation it gave me was quite nice. You know, it's part of the reason why now when I go to those things, I'm like sipping wine and cheese and like, oh, I just need a monocle and I'll be set. What started there?
I love that.
What about you, Liz?
Let's see, I guess technically the first concert that I've ever been to, I cannot for the life of me remember the name of this group, but they were like this jazz band. They were like a local jazz band that kind of like blended different genres together, and it kind of sounded like Star Trek music, if that makes any sense. It was very interesting, but I remember just like kind of zoning out at that concert as a kid, you know, and kind of just like imagining like what the music could go to and just letting my imagination run wild. But I don't remember what they were called, but if I can remember, I'll let y'all know.
We'll put it in post if we remember.
Yeah.
All right. What about you, Charlie?
So my first concert was a Fall Out Boy concert back in, I think, like 2014 or something. I still have the t-shirt that I got from it, but I did have to cut the sleeves off so that it would still fit me if I ever want to wear it.
Honestly, that's a good way. That's a good way of letting the memory last. Honestly, I'd probably do the same thing. Yeah.
What was your first concert?
Oh yeah. My first concert was a Lil Uzi concert. I remember. I think it was October of 2017. Yeah, it was right after or not right after, but like right before Love Is Rage 2 came out. And then I just remember being at that concert, I didn't get a merch t-shirt, but there was this like little cheap t-shirt that they made like for the people that got like this like little VIP pass. So I still got a Lil Uzi shirt, but I mean, I probably could have gotten like 2 while I was there. But I remember being in the mosh pit and then on accident, and then I had to drag my mom out of there, like because
your mom was in it.
Yeah, she was the one that took me.
Your mom kind of cool.
I salute any parents that accidentally get dragged into the mosh pit.
Yeah. Honestly, I wasn't even sure, the thing is, like, with it being my first concert, it's like, I wasn't even expecting it to be, like, that crazy, but thinking back to it, it wasn't as everything that it was meant to be, because he showed up, like, 2 hours late. We were there at, like, 10:01 watching these, like, local artists just, like, hit the Dougie on stage, and I'm just, like... and then, like, someone's kid was up there, too. He started surfing in the crowd, and I'm just like, bro, where's he at? But
I noticed that with a lot of rappers, they seem to be late.
I don't know, maybe they're just getting high somewhere.
Yeah, probably.
I don't know, that's a mood, though. But, yeah, I want to ask y'all, like, before we wrap this up, what is the overall impact music had on y'all?
I guess I'll go first. But for me, music is just like a way for me to kind of like express my feelings or just kind of like, you know, validate my own feelings as well. Because a lot of artists like will kind of like put their own experience into the lyrics of their music, and just going back and listening to them and kind of like relating to them kind of like lets you know that like, okay, I'm not the only one that's like going through this or feeling this way or whatever. So it's like a great healthy way to cope with like whatever kind of stress or whatever I'm going through at the moment.
Bouncing off of that, music just really... There's just something about hearing a woman scream. That deep feminine rage. That like deep feminine rage. Yeah. Wait. Let me elaborate. That like deep
say.
feminine rage, like in a song, just like screaming and like just singing about pain and like misogyny and like all that. Like there's just something so powerful, and it really resonates with like how I feel about experiences that I've gone through. So should have phrased that a lot better.
I get it.
Daisy gets it. So
Yeah, can I add something real quick?
Yeah.
If you like to listen to like music like that, there's this artist called Johnny, but it's spelled Zheani.
okay.
And she kind of like encapsulates this feminine rage that I think every woman can relate to.
Mm-hmm.
Even like the nicest woman has like kind of that internal like
Usage.
rage. Yeah, and like I definitely, that resonated with me when you said that.
I don't know what you said made me think of Aretha Franklin.
What was it?
The overall impact music.
Oh, yeah,
had on
okay,
me.
yeah. And to go off what y'all say, the music really creates a sense of community, and I'd say that was always my favorite part about it. And it's always really interesting to hear y'all talk about this feminine rage and stuff that's kind of new to me. Not that I have a problem with it, but, when I was... How old are y'all again?
I'm 21.
Okay, yeah.
We're both 21.
Yeah.
Oh, twins.
I'm 23.
Back in high school, man, if...
I would have thought 22.
Maybe it's still the same, I don't know, but back when I was in high school, if you went and talked about feminine rage or a dude, man, you probably would have gotten thrown in the locker. But it's great to hear y'all say that. Seeing things change, I like the progression that I'm seeing. It gives me hope.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Because, before it's just masculine rage, and this world got enough of that.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
We got
Yes.
plenty, man. We don't need no more.
Not the
See our
energy
progress.
we need.
Seeing that community grow is the best part of music.
So music has impacted my life quite a bit. I met my life partner at a concert. We actually met on Tinder when I was living in Tulsa, and he was in OKC. And we were just like talking, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to a concert next week," and he was like, "Wait, I'm going to a concert next week," and it just turned out that we were going to the same concert, and then been with each other ever since, actually.
Yeah.
And that was like pre-COVID also, so it's been a while. But also like most of my friends I have, because I go to a lot of local concerts, and even though I don't really like a lot of the local bands at the moment, sorry, it's just I'm not a big hardcore fan, and hardcore is really big right now. I still go to concerts because my friends go there, and I do love just like the community and the vibe, and sometimes there are hardcore bands that I really enjoy, so that's why I still go, because I'm like, all right, fine.
I feel you. I feel like for me, like the impact that music had on me is like, I don't know. I feel like it's inspired me. Like the depth that music goes into, I feel like is very inspirational. Kind of like what you said, how like there's like always something that you can like, they could say something and you can cope with it. Like I feel like that's the impact that it had on me. Like I found comfort within music. And then I found like my ability to express myself through music too. Yeah.
It gives you a creative way to tell a story. Whatever that story may be.
Exactly.
And the best music tells stories, I always say.
That's a really valid point that you bring up.
It's something my dad told me. He was like, if you want to really know if a song's good, it tells a story. Like he would always show me like some old classic rock songs. I would, be telling a story, and it'd always be about, just a regular dude trying to live their life, or like relationship issues and all that. So, it was very down to earth, I'd say.
Yeah.
That's the best stuff.
Speaking of like a story in a way, what would y'all say is the soundtrack to y'all's lives?
Ooh, it's a hard question.
I can go. I would say either My Woman by Angel Olsen or Flux by Poppy are like my top two soundtracks to my life. They're both very different, but it really like wraps around every aspect of who I am. So.
I feel you.
Uh,
My bad, you can go.
I would say mine would be a more newer mix. It was by Black Hill and Silent Island. It's called, the genre is called alternative rock, which that's a bit newish to me, but it's so freaking good because it's, again, like no words, but it tells such great stories, you know. And the fact that it can tell a story without words is a work of art, truly.
Mm-hmm.
And Black Hill and Silent Island, Tales of the Night Forest. So great. It reminds me of some stories I've had, and you know, you can express yourself through that music. It's great. It's such a good one. I love because it's so chill, man. You can feel it in your soul. It makes your soul want to just freaking dance, or whatever that means.
Mm-hmm. Just
Smoke a joint before you listen to it.
I'll keep that in mind.
It's how your soul dances, dog.
Mm-hmm.
Can we say
All
that
right.
on camera?
Weed is medicine.
If not, we can just censor it. Just
Yeah.
if we
Yeah.
have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about y'all though? What are y'all soundtracks?
So I have a playlist on Spotify that is just titled "Why Does Everything Need a Name?" because I got really tired of having to name playlists all of the time.
That is such a good title. Oh my.
That's better, man.
And then like all of the songs on there, there's no one just like genre in it. It's just you got a whole eclectic mix of like some really weird local bands, some like King Gizzard, Lil Peep is on it, so it's just all over the place. But it's like all the songs that like I've kind of you know, like sometimes you listen to a song and it'll kind of give you chills.
Mm-hmm.
All of the songs on here are the ones that like kind of do that for me.
That's a vibe.
So it's all over the place, but I think it works with each other in a weird way.
Yeah. For me, I have a playlist that's called IDK because I also had writer's block whenever it came to thinking of a title, but it has a lot of like 90s, early 2000s rock in it. I have a lot of Deftones, Alice in Chains, Foo Fighters, Tool is in here. All of that is like stuff that my dad introduced me to, and I've just always loved it. But yeah, I definitely love Foo Fighters probably the most out of all these bands because Foo Fighters and Dave Grohl, they were like the ones that like inspired me to like pick up an instrument for the first time. So I kind of started learning how to play guitar a little bit in high school, and I don't know, they just really inspired me to kind of like, you know, get in touch with that art, like the art of trying to create music and play music.
Mm-hmm. Right. I don't know, for me, if I had to say the soundtrack of my life, I don't know, I came up with two things. I feel like if it were an album, I feel like it would be Call Me If You Get Lost by Tyler, the Creator, just because, one, a lot of those songs resonate with me, especially I Thought You Wanted to Dance, because my history with women is, I feel like it's like I be liking people a lot, but it's like they don't really like me like that. But you know, I'ma still dance either way. But it's between that album and then I have a Spotify playlist called, honestly at the moment I just have it titled BS, just because I had it split between two different sounds at first, between BS and Diary. I just decided to stick with the BS. There's just a lot of Sleepy Hollow, some Kamari, Leon Thomas. Shouts out to Leon Thomas, come on the show. Yeah, it's a good mix of like hip hop and R&B. All right. Well, with that being said, I want to wrap this up. Thank y'all again for coming on the show. I really appreciate y'all. What are some recommendations that y'all have for the people?
I have a music blog called Ken's Grooves, and you can check it out through my Instagram @Cataway. Please give it a watch. I interview local artists, I interview local artists, go to concerts, give reviews, do album analyses, stuff like that. So.
Okay, cool.
Check that out.
Do you want to
Wait, what was it called?
What are some recommendations?
Like for music?
It could be music. It could be listening. It could be anything.
Tales of the Night Forest, Black Hill and Silent Island. Go listen to that. And they got a lot of stuff too. So I'd highly recommend that. And I don't have anything personal going on like Kenna, you know, all that stuff still in the blueprint stage for me. But one day, for Black Hill and Silent Island.
I would recommend the artist Pat the Bunny and all of his side projects like Ramshackle Glory, Johnny Hobo and the Freight Trains, Wingnut Dishwashers Union. He's done a lot of music, but if you're ever feeling angry at the world, it's a very good collection to listen to.
And I guess if you're looking for music that goes with any part of your life at all, follow me on Spotify. OMG, period, it's Daisy. My music taste is very eclectic, and you will find something that resonates with you, I promise.
All right, for sure. All right, follow me on Instagram at third spelt out .I. That's the I .candy. That's sweet. Third Eye Candy. Yeah. All right, that's it for the Pioneer Podcast. Thank you again for coming on. Y'all take care. It's all love.